Losing a spouse is always painful and difficult event, and many retirees are caught financially unprepared. And when I talk about losing a spouse, I'm talking about through death and or through divorce, because you have to face the rude reality of either of those life events. A week doesn't go by without me getting a call from a recent widow who was not financially prepared. And while it's a tough discussion to have, the conversation must be addressed because there are critical financial implications. You don't want to be contributing to the elderly poor statistics, which we are seeing growing significantly with 80% of women dying single, because you don't plan to navigate the latter stages of life as a single. So I'm encouraging you to plan now or pay later, because the death of a spouse or the loss of your partner, your husband through divorce is one of the retirement risks that we rarely talk about. It's a good question to ask. Loss of a spouse can have significant and very substantial impact on the surviving spouse retirement lifestyle. And since the team at Woman's Worth is all about lifestyle protection planning, we make sure we integrate these ugly life events into our planning process, because it results in a decrease of income when you lose a spouse through divorce or death. You're going to lose your income for the surviving spouse. And guess what? It triggers other financial issues, not just lost income. Financial impacts are felt whether you're a widow or a widower. Most of you are probably thinking that your expenses will go down when you lose a spouse, whether through death or divorce. If this is your thinking, I suggest you rethink that notion. You need to think about the social systems that change when you become single. And as you transition into that singleness, your lifestyle expenses may go up. Just last week, I was meeting with a widow, and her meals and entertainment expenses were so much higher as a single than when she was married. And she started getting concerned because she felt like she was spending way more money and was worried she was going to be running out of money if she continued spending that rate. Well, actually, her expenses increased because she didn't want to sit home and eat alone. So she used meals as a means of entertainment with friends, and she ate out more and spent more on her meals. This isn't anything financial advisors are talking about with their clients. And so the conversation is always about investments and financial strategies. And it's not about lifestyle needs and expenses and funding to support the lifestyle needs. So women tend to spend more money on lifestyle costs when they do lose a spouse. I see it more often, and many times, especially for the surviving spouse who was a caregiver, there are some self-care expenses that are associated with the need for the survivor to pull themselves back together. So there could be some mental health expenses. There could be some expenses associated with a lifestyle modification, expenses associated with changing your legal documents. There's a lot of expenses to really think about that are lifestyle oriented. You absolutely need to know the major impacts of your tax status when you move from a married filing jointly tax return to a single tax status. And let me give you an example of the impacts. And this is something, listen up, folks. Let's say that John's Social Security income is $20,000 and Sally's Social Security income is $10,000. So to meet their lifestyle needs, they need to pull $30,000 a year out of their IRA from all their savings to make sure that they can meet their lifestyle costs. So looking at this scenario, their federal income tax that's due with them being married is $988. That's all they would have to spend in taxes to accommodate their lifestyle. Now, one of them dies and the survivor still needs the same amount of income, or $60,000 annually. But the survivor gets to keep the higher of the two Social Security benefits. So it doesn't matter who passes away first, husband or wife, it doesn't matter. You get the higher of the two Social Security benefits. And so that would be the $20,000 to the survivor. And so now Sally needs to pull out, guess what? She needs to take $40,000 out of her IRAs instead of the $30,000 out of her IRAs. So the federal tax due on her, for her as a single or him as a single, is $5,357. So you go from $988,000 to maintain your lifestyle to $5,357. That's a 442% increase in taxes due just to maintain the lifestyle that a couple had. And this doesn't take into consideration the need for higher expenses. And financial advisors are only focusing on investments and financial products, and success in retirement has more to do about tax planning and managing the cost of your lifestyle, whether you're single or married. And I'm raising the alarm and encouraging you to get your head out of the sand and understand all retirement risks, not just market risk. And I'd like to invite you to come in and visit with the team at Women's Worth, because we can help you navigate through retirement planning process and understand the impacts of lost income during retirement.